Hello Pythoneers, welcome to your 14th Python tutorial. Now in the last video we looked at a list. In this video we are looking at tuples in Python. Tuples in Python are used to store multiple or collection of data in a single variable, just as a list. Now they belong to the built-in sequence data type in Python. Tuples are ordered, meaning their positions do not change when you create them. Okay, so anytime you call a tuple that you have created, it remains ordered in its original position. Tuples are unchangeable or immutable, and this is one very important difference between a tuple and then the other sequence data type, which is a list. And then finally, tuples allow duplicates, just as list also does. To create a tuple, you make use of a normal bracket and you separate the items using commas, just as we saw in a list. On my screen here, I have a tuple that stores different data type. That tells you that a tuple can contain different data types, just as in list. I would switch over to our code and we will take a look at. So in this example, I am going to create a tuple for my favorite fruits. I'll go ahead and create the variable fruits and then I will store it in a tuple. So this time not a square bracket, okay, but a normal bracket. And I am going to specify the fruits that I want to put in my tuple. So ladies and gentlemen, I have created my tuple for my favorite fruits. So now that we have created our tuple, let's go ahead and see how we can access individual items, or we can access a collection or a group of items within our tuple. First thing I want to do is to access the second item in my tuple, which is mango. So to do that, I'm going to print. Okay, so I'll say print, and then I'm going to print the item I'm going to access. So to do that, I would I'll specify my fruit tuple, and the same process that we did whilst we were working on list. And then I'm going to denote my square bracket. So note that even though we used a normal bracket for a fruit, for a tuple, when we are accessing the item, we have to use a square bracket. Okay, so just note that. And since I am interested in mango, when accessing an item in a tuple, we count 0 from the left and -1 from the right. So from the left, okay, my orange will be 0 and then my mango will be 1. Okay, so even though mango is the second item in my tuple, it has index 1. So I'll just say 1 and go ahead to print. So I'll go to run and then run tuple. And ladies and gentlemen, I have mango. Okay, great. Okay, so I can also access the item from the right to the left, which will be in negative. Okay, so I want to access and then how do I do that? So I would say fruits, okay, and then square bracket, okay, and then when counting from right to left, sorry, it's -1, -2, -3, and then -4. Okay, so I'll say -4, and as I do, I'm going to print. So I'll print this, okay, and then when I run, ladies and gentlemen, I have mango. Great. Okay, so now apart from accessing, we can also slice. Okay, so here I want to slice. Okay, so I want to slice. Okay, I'm interested in mango, apple, and then pineapple. Okay, so I want these items, okay, in my list by slicing them. And so slice, so we have the second, third, and fourth. Okay, so slice. Okay, so how do I do that? So just as I do always, I would say fruits. Okay, so it's the same thing, fruits, and then specify your square bracket, because you are going to slide, meaning you are requesting for 2 or more items, so you need a start and then an end. Okay, so I'll say colon, so we use colon to specify a start and then end. Now if I want to start sliding, okay, so I want to slide from the left hand side. Okay, now if I want to slide from the left hand side right from the beginning, let's say I'm interested in orange and then mango. Okay, then I'll specify the end index and then leave out the first index. First index means I'm specifying right from the first item, and then when I slice, leaving out the last index, okay, or the end, it means I'm slicing all the way to the last index. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just to slide the second, third, and then the fourth item, which are mango, apple, and pineapple in this case. So do it this way. Okay, so your second item, which is mango, has index 1. Okay, so you say 1, and then the last item, your end item, okay, has index 1, 2, and then 3, so you say 3. Now this is what you will do, but here the rule in Python says that to include your last item when sliding from your left to right, make sure you specify the last item after your end, or after the last, so specify the item after the last item you are interested in. So my last item is pineapple, sorry, which has index 3. To include pineapple, I would say 4, and then that will exclude the fourth index, so index 4, sorry. So index 4 here is pineapple, but I need to specify that before I can include this index. That's the index before it. Okay, so I'll just do, once I'm done, I'll just go ahead and then print. Okay, I'll print that. Okay, and then when I run, ladies and gentlemen, I have mango, apple, and then pineapple, and then I can do the same for the reverse. Okay, so I'll just copy this, just be a bit lazy. Okay, so slice, so I'll just say slice the same item as above. Okay, but this time from right to left. Good. Okay, and then so how do I write that? Okay, so I'll just say print. Okay, so I'll write print first, and then fruits. Okay, and then I'll specify my square bracket, meaning I'm going to access or slide. Good. And then the colon. Okay, now we are doing it from right to left, and we are interested in mango, apple, and then pineapple. Okay, so now watch me carefully. Now I'm going to start from the right hand side. Okay, so the index from my right hand side is going to be like my start, and then it's going to be here, and then the end is going to be there. Okay, so like in reverse. Good. Now I am interested in pineapple, so counting from the right, pineapple has index and -2, because when counting from the right we start with -1, so -1, -2. Okay, so specify -2 here, and -3, -4. So mango then have -4. Okay, now this is the first step. Then again the rule has to apply. The rule says that to include the first item, okay, in your index when counting from the slicing from the right, okay, include, so this is the first item, pineapple. Now include the item, okay, before the first, okay, before the start, before the first index, to include it. Okay, because if you don't specify this and then you keep to negative, which is this, then it's going to extract this, or it's going to exclude this. Okay, so in order to include pineapple, we need to use banana, which is index 1. Okay, so index -1. Okay, and then when I do that, then I can include all these 3. Okay, so let me run my code and see what I get. So ladies and gentlemen, I have mango, apple, and then pineapple. Good. So we are moving on. Hope you guys are learning. Great. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to move on to the next thing. Okay, so now let me switch over to my slide. Okay, so we have learned how to create and access tuple. Let's look at how you can modify a tuple. Well, unfortunately, guys, a tuple is immutable. Now, this means you cannot add to, insert to, or change, or even remove its content. So there is a big no here. Okay, when you want to do things like append, insert, remove, and then so on, it's not going to work over here. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's say we just want to give it a try. Okay, so let's say I want to remove an item. Okay, so I'll just say, okay, so when I run my code, okay, I'm getting an error. Yeah, so that's the error. So the error says that tuple object has no attribute to remove. Okay, and if you try insert and then so on, it's the same thing. Okay, so here I would say that tuples cannot be modified. Okay, so let me just put that here as a word of caution. Okay, great. So that is one thing that you should note. So if we cannot modify a tuple, what can we do to a tuple? One, I can copy into a tuple. So let's say I have I'm creating a new tuple called fruit juice. I want to prepare fruit juice. So I want to prepare, you know, a mix. Okay, a mix of like a smoothie. Okay, I want to do a smoothie. Okay, so I'll say fruit mix. Okay, so I want to create a fruit mix. Now fruit mix. Okay, and then what do I want to copy? Okay, now tuples doesn't have an inbuilt copy. Okay, now the way you can do that, once you don't have that, you have another way that you can do. So I'm just creating a fruit mix variable, and I am setting it to the content of my fruit, and it's just so simple. Okay, so I'll just say copy a fruit. Okay, so copy a tuple. Okay, so here I am copying the content of my fruit into my fruit mix. So when I go ahead and then print my results, okay, fruit mix. Okay, so let me go ahead and run. Okay, and then you see, okay, so let me just specify here. So I'll just say fruit mix. Okay, so you can see it clearly, fruits. So fruit mix. Okay, so you can see that clearly. I'll run my code, and then you should see fruit mix. Okay, orange, mango, apple, pineapple, and then banana. Great. Okay, so apart from copying, we can also count all the items in a tuple. Okay, and there's an inbuilt method. Okay, that can help you to count. Okay, so there's a built-in a function. Okay, so I'll just say len. Okay, and then so the len function take an object that is the tuple you are going to count. Okay, so you would say fruits. Okay, and then so I'll just print this. I'll just say, so when I run this, it's going to give me 5. Okay, so total number of fruits in the tuple is 5, telling me that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This time we are counting them. Okay, counting them. So we have 5. Okay, 5 number of fruits in our item. Now, so the last, but the least. Okay, so we are going to count the number of occurrence of an item in a list. I told you that list accepts duplicate. So let's say I like a lot of I like mangoes. Okay, I like a lot of mangoes. So let's just say we have another item here called mango. So I have 2 mangoes for my fruit mix. Okay, so I want to count the number of occurrence of a mango in my fruit mix. Okay, so the fruit mix that I prepared here. So how do you do that? Okay, so we can do that by using the count. Okay, so the count method. Okay, so what I will do is I will just say fruits. Okay, so I'll just say fruits. Okay, dot count. Okay, and then notice that it takes a value. Now the value that it takes is the item, okay, or the particular fruit that you want to count in this case. Okay, so I'll just specify mango. Okay, and then I need to print this. When I run this, guys, so total number of mangoes in my basket is 2. Okay, it's 2. Great. So I can take that away. When I take that away and then I run, you notice that ladies and gentlemen, is reduced to 1. Great. So you can use that to count an item, okay, in your tuple. And you can do the same thing for list, you know, like we did previously. We look at previous. So the last thing that I want to do in my demonstration is, guys, I am going to show you how to also loop and then list the number of items in a tuple, just as you can do in a list. So you can access individual items in the tuple by looping using a for loop. Very helpful. Print them. So now let's finally go into my code, and what am I going to do? So I'm going to say loop. Okay, so loop. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to say that, okay, so that's how we create a for loop. So okay, a for loop. Okay, so a for loop, a forever loop. So f4, so for in, oh guys, sorry, so for fruits, okay, so it's fruits. Okay, so I like to do it this way. So I'll say for fruits, okay, in fruits. Okay, I think this makes more sense than using for x. Okay, so fruit is more than 1. Okay, and then I want one to list one fruit at a time. So we say for fruit in fruit. Okay, if n, okay, so n here is a string in this case, so you have to put it in a quotation. So if n in, okay, so if n in fruits, okay, so if the fruits that you are going to list, if it has n in it, okay, so if n in fruit, then you go ahead and then print. Okay, so I'll just say, and then ladies and gentlemen, when I run my code, so you see fruit found orange. Okay, so let me expand this. Okay, so fruit found orange, fruit found mango, fruit found pineapple, fruit found banana. But you won't see fruit found apple. Why? Because it doesn't contain n in it. And so ladies and gentlemen, this is all that you need to know about tuple. Go ahead and then use it in your examples. I'll put the link to the code on my GitHub, okay, in the description. So guys, go ahead and then like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, so show some love. See you in the next video. Bye.